across the United States, millions of people are celebrating, including those of us here in East Tennessee. The federal holiday commemorates the end of slavery in the U.S. People across Knoxville celebrated the holiday with a parade, memorial, march, and festival. The event honoring freedom, history, and community drew families, neighbors, and local leaders. 10 News reporter Lauren Davis spoke to people about this day of reflection and a message they say is as important as ever.
The sounds of music, community, and celebration are filling East Knoxville as people gather for the annual MLK Parade and March and Juneteenth celebration. The event honors both Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the significance of Juneteenth. For many, the day is about celebrating a pivotal moment in American history.
The Union soldiers marched into Galveston, Texas in 1865 and told the enslaved people, "You are free." So it's a day of freedom and celebration.
Deborah Porter, a chairperson for the Martin Luther King Jr. Commemorative Commission, says the event has grown significantly over the years.
We need to be unified, if you will, in unity with one another, and just know that we have more in common than we have separated.
That message resonated with many attendees.
It's good to see that black people are coming together and, networking and just being together as a family.
Others say preserving black history and educating future generations remains a key part of the holiday.
Black history, to me, it means learning about where we came from, our heritage, and how the important things that we have contributed to society.
And while the festival celebrates the past, many hope it also inspires a stronger future.
We need to be reminded all the time that we're all together, and people need to see that we're all together, not just talk bad about us. So,
right, the same thing. We want this community to know that we support them.
That was Lauren Davis reporting, and we'll have full coverage on the history of Juneteenth coming up tonight on 10 News at 11. A newspaper in Jonesboro marked the first widespread publication devoted to the abolition of slavery. Researchers say the Emancipator was a monthly newspaper printed from April to October of 1820. And that's more than 40 years before President Abraham Lincoln delivered the Emancipation Proclamation. Eluhi Embry was a Quaker, and he printed that newspaper. At the time, he was an enslaver. Researchers, though, say he felt he wasn't being true to his faith, and he then started the paper. The popularity of that newspaper grew when circulation started in major cities, including Boston and Philadelphia.
You did have a really strong abolitionist movement here. Of course, you had people who owned slaves at the same time. You have both Union and Confederacy during the Civil War. So I think that people are just pleasantly surprised when they learn that this paper was published here. But it's really fitting with this area's history of, having varied levels of thinking and opinions. By October of 1820, the newspaper had more than 2,000 subscribers. Now, the Boston Globe has a publication named after the Emancipator. It focuses on finding solutions to racial inequality.